G'day guys, Mac with the Outer Circle. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the 2012 and 2013 catalogues from Forge World. This catalogue is exactly 10 years old now, and this catalogue, I believe, is a post-release of Heresy, so you know it's later than September of 2012. I'll just have a quick look, make sure there's Heresy stuff in it. So I don't want to be straight out lying to anyone. We've got all our Space Marine stuff. Yep, so it's got our Heresy Era Dreadnoughts, Heresy Era Space Marine Power Armor, Heresy Vehicles, Rapier, all that good stuff. Alright, so we know that this is a September 2012 catalogue or later. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this catalogue, what we have over on the other screen, because I'm trying something different here, we have Forge World, both the American store set up, and I've got the Australian store set up, as well as a inflation calculator. This is from the Reserve Bank of Australia, and it will tell you, in order to keep up with inflation, where the hell prices should be at. So I've started out by picking transfer sheets, which I have here. I've got Marine ones, I've got Guard ones, it doesn't really matter, they're all the same price. So 10 years ago it was £9.50, 12.5 euros, 15 US dollars or Australian $17 for a A4 transfer sheet. Currently transfer sheets are retailing at 40 Australian dollars. So 17 Australian dollars should equal $20.10, going off purely inflation. Games Workshop is currently charging us double that figure. Okay, let's look somewhere else then. What about Imperial Guard units? Let's see if we can find some of those. So, because so much stuff has gone last chance to buy, I honestly don't know what is in stock, so let's have a look through Death Korps of Krieg here. So, Death Korps of Krieg, where would be a best place to start? Let's go Cavalry, Death Riders. So, US $21, Australian 23, 16 euro or $12.50. £12.50 for Death Korps of Krieg Riders. 200 Australian dollars now. So they were 23 each. So let's plug 23 in, and we'll calculate it up. So should cost $27.19. So 5 by 27 should take you to roughly around the 120, 730-ish sort of zone. So they're just under double what they did cost. Okay, what about something else? What about tanks and armor? Tanks and armor is a pretty good one, so let's bring it all up here. Artillery here. Medusa siege gun, 200 Australian dollars. It was Australian 122, US 112. What was that? 68 euros and 67 British pounds. I need glasses. That's 88 euros. Apologies. These are printed pretty small. This whole sheet is smaller than A4. Okay, so 122 Australian dollars. Currently sells for 200, so about 50% overpriced. So we're getting cheaper. Transfers by far are the worst so far that we've gone through. Lehman Russ. Complete resin and plastic kit, £52 for a Vanquisher, 68 euro, 86 US dollars or 94 Australian dollars. Currently, a Vanquisher is 150. Let's see what we get here. So we have 94 as our starting point. my guess is going to be somewhere around 110. Yeah, 111.12. So that is a solid, what, $40 more, basically, $38. Joy of joys. Let's go check out the US web store as well for some of these while we're here, actually. Because that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? So, Armies of the Imperium, Death Corps of Krieg. Vanquisher, 114 US dollars. Now, keep in mind, 10 years ago, it was 86 US dollars. So you guys are actually much, still above inflation, but much closer to it than we are. And don't forget as well that all these UK prices that are printed in these books, they are the UK prices for including VAT, which obviously you have to subtract the VAT from the UK prices before you do any fair currency conversion, because it's going to artificially inflate the number in Games Workshop's favour. So unfortunately, it's an even greater discrepancy. And this, of course, doesn't take into account the various US tax codes for different states, because obviously it's all over the place. What else can we go to? Imperial Navy, that's a pretty cool one. So, Imperial Navy. Oh, I have to go ticking boxes here, don't I? Right. Maybe unit type or keyword. See if they've got flyers. Alright, now we're cooking. Don't want just marine flyers. Oh, Marauder Destroyer. Okay, Marauder Destroyer. I have that on this page. So Australian, $337. Should cost $398, and it does cost $552, so $150 more, so 50% more. Cool story. Over in America, it was... Sorry, I gotta go through the same thing, and I just want to... My audience is actually predominantly Americans, believe it or not. I do know this. But it's also interesting just to compare how the different countries have suffered. So 407 for a Marauder Destroyer, it was 309 US. So it's gone up by 30% in 10 years, which is over double inflation. Yeah, straight in the pocket, hey? Alright, what else have we got here? Space Marines, cool. Well, the flyers here are on the very page we're on, so that should be an easy comparison. Storm Eagle gunship, currently on the Australian web store, $288. It was price not listed, coming soon. Okay, that's no help. Thunderhawk gunship, I can use it, but it's not really a fair comparison because that's the old Thunderhawk gunship. But for curiosity's sake, it is about the same size, so I wonder what the price is. So it was Australian $718, US $658, 519 euros, and £399. The current Thunderhawk is 1,148 Australian dollars. Okay, that's a lot. So 718. So inflation adjusted, yeah, 848 versus 1148 is a big difference. And the old Thunderhawk and the new one are not that radically different. I don't think we can really justify that. Tyranid Heridian. Oh, I wonder, that should be in here. No, it's not. It is. Okay, cool. So the Heridian is 410 Australian, 376 US, 296 euro, and 228 pounds. Okay, I am aware that you will have difficulty reading these. I'm having difficulty reading these, but I'm standing 2 feet away. It's literally, that's how far I can reach. It's arm's length away. So it is coming in at $630. So that was the cost 10 years ago, and it comes in at $484. Last I checked, $484 is less than $630, but I have to get their, what do they call them, the account-nomancers onto this case. See if they can solve this crisis. What else have we got in flyers and stuff? Well, apparently Revenant Titans are flyers. News to me, but, well, they should be in here. They are. The Phantom is in here. Is it? Is it? Yep, so Revenant with Sonic Lancers was 326 Australian dollars, 299 US dollars, 235 euros, and 182 pounds. Okay, so 326 is the magic number. And we get 385, which is a long way short of 510. Do people start to see now why Forge World prices and Games Workshop pricing was already excessive in Australia back then. People would call it excessive today over in the UK, would you not? So if they're excessive for you over in the UK today, how would you feel if you were just getting slugged hundreds of dollars extra on the exact same kit, the same kit that's already 10 years old, mind you, and it just repeatedly kept happening over time, and the price gulf between our countries just kept growing despite the fact that these are Forge World. It doesn't matter, they cost the same no matter where they go in the world to make. Okay, Revenant Titan is the exact same Revenant Titan sold in the US as it is in Australia. It's not filled with gold beads or something and diamonds when it comes over to Australia. It's the same resin, so why would it cost more? Logically, it cannot. The difference in price would be in shipping and regional taxes. Fine, but in that case, since Australia's regional taxes and import tariffs is lower than the UK's VAT, in theory, the model should actually be cheaper here in Australia until you factor in shipping. So, interesting thought to have there. What else have we got here in Eldar? Oh, Cobra 2. I do like the Cobra. I love all the Eldar Super Heavies, actually, but the Cobra 2 is 243 Australian, 223 American, 176 euro, 135 pounds. So it's 370 now. Let's see what 243 translates to. $287. So we're within $100 now. Oh, jolly good. Jolly good. What else have I got from this book? Ooh, Eldar Flyers. Do they have any Eldar Flyers still on Forge World's website? They got the Nightwing. Alright, let's do that. 180. It was Australian 122, US 112, 88 euros and 67 pounds. At already 122 Australian, I reckon this one here, we might have finally found one that's in the ballpark of fair. So, it's only about $40 more expensive here. In fact, it's less. It's $36. So actually, the Nightwing is actually falling into kind of okay territory. It's still greatly outstripped inflation, but that's basically American numbers on inflation compared to Australia. Okay, what about... Well, we've got the Tantalus here, and I know I just saw the Tantalus. Alright, 230. It was 122 Australian, 112 US, and 67 British, and 88 euros. So 230 Australian. And it was 122. Oh, okay. Well, that one answers itself. 144.22. So this one is $100 more. So how's that? The Nightwing and the Tantalus were both the exact same cost in 2012, but now the Tantalus is $50 more than the Nightwing. It's It's increased in price by double what the Nightwing did, over double what the Nightwing did, almost 3 times the price increase over inflation as the Nightwing. That's insanity. And there's no rhyme or reason to that, is there? Because if they started out at the same price point and it was purely based on inflation and cost, shouldn't they go up at the same price point? Well, apparently not. I guess one of these units must have more labour involved or something to justify such bullshittery. Okay. What else have we got? Ooh, Kabanda. Oh, no, it wasn't Kabanda, sorry. It was another generic corn demon because we don't have enough of those. But let's see. He'll be in here somewhere. Surely. Am I blind? I'm just not seeing it. I know they're around because these models were out. Hey, here they go. They're in Warhammer Forge. I remember Warhammer Fantasy. Ah, that was fun. Alright, he was 252 Australian, 231 US, 182 Euro, and 140 pounds. So let's jump on over to the inflation calculator again. He should cost somewhere around 297 Australian, and he currently costs 370. One of the less egregious examples again, I'm going to say. Oh, geez. Some of these models, like the Emperor Dragon, were so cool, and I'm pretty sure they're no longer there. But I'm going to go have a look. The Age of Sigmar. This site is so horrible to navigate. Is this it? Is this everything currently on? Jesus. They've just gutted it. This is actually a good chance to look at what Fantasy did contain 10 years ago. Okay, so Elspeth von Draken, the Marienburg class land ship, which is hilarious. It's literally a ship turned into a tank. Theodore Bruckner and Reaper, Lightpole the Black, Empire Ironsides, Command, Handgunner Conversions, Mannon's Blades, and Conversions. Warfire Dragon, Carmine Dragon, Fire Dragon, which is a really cool traditional dragon model. Arcane Frogs or Familiars, Bone Grinder Giant, Cursed de Etten, which is, I don't know, I thought it was cool. White King, Elemental of Beasts, which has that really awesome sort of deer head on it. Cool model. Basilisk, Rogue Idol, Fimir, all the greater demons, of course, Tamakan, Chaos, War Mammoth. Oh, sick kid. Always wanted one, never got one. Emperor Chaos Dragon, Greater Spine Beast, Skin Wolves, Greater Chaos Spawn, Chaos Siege Giant. Obviously, all the Tamakan stuff. Rhinox Riders for Ogres. Drazoak the Ashen. Bale Taurus. Demon Smiths. What else? All the Chaos Dwarf stuff, of course. Even Ratmen. Wow, what a time to be alive. So that's like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, because it's the same kit, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52 units at least 10 years ago versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units now. Wow, I feel supported and valued. I mean, I get you can't keep everything in supply forever, but we've gone backwards by, there's 5 times less stuff. That's how much they care to support the game systems. I guess because they didn't want to update all these units for Age of Sigmar or something. Yeah, great. Just great. Well, what about some orc stuff? We'll do some orc stuff, and then we'll quickly look at the other book, because the other book Unfortunately, none of the prices are in Australian dollars. It's only euros, pounds, and US dollars. That's how much they care for us. They couldn't even put our currency in there. Actually, I can't judge because at least they had our currency in there. One of only 4 types back then, whereas now, how many countries around the world can buy this stuff and don't have their currency represented? I guess I shouldn't complain. Okay, Orcs stuff. Let's see. So Warhammer 40k, Xenos, Orcs. Alright. Looks like we've got some good stuff to work with here. So, without looking at the prices, I'm not going to scroll down and look at everything. So I can't see... What's that? That's a Grot Mega Tank, I think. And those are Grot tanks. So Grot Mega Tank, I'm going to play a bit of a game here. So I don't know what they cost currently. I'm going to look at the old price, do the inflation calculator, and I'm going to guess what I think they cost. That's a fun extra game. So the Grot Mega Tank was Australian 116, US 106, 84 euro and 64 pounds. Alright. So it should cost about 137 now. I'm going to guess 160-ish now. Ooh. No, I was off. Okay, what else have we got here without looking at the prices? Let's see, Orc Mega Dread, just the body. So the body on the Mega Dread was $68 Australian, 62 US, 49 euros and 37 British. So it should cost $80. No way knowing that's going to be $80. 120? 130? I don't know. I really don't know. So what should it cost? $80. I'm going to go 140. I was well under on the Grot Mega Tank, so I'm going to go over. I'm hoping to be at $20 over. So I'm going to say 140 Australian for the Mega Dread now. And it costs 110. Alright. It's still $30 over what it should cost, but, that's tolerable, maybe. Well, the Mecha Dread would probably be the same. Super Cannon, did they have that then? Not separately. Alright, well, let's go up to the top. So, Orc Killburster, Kill Blaster Tank. 280 now, and it was... Is it Kill Burster or Kill Blaster I was looking at? Kill Burster. Oh, okay, so same thing. So it's giving you both options in the kit. I don't know if I can give it a fair comparison then, but it was 174. Which is obviously going to be a mile off. Yeah. Alright, Gargantuan Squigoth. Did they have that? They did. Okay, it was 410 Australian and is 610 now. Well, I guarantee you it's probably only on the 430-ish zone. Oh no, okay. It was higher than I thought, so 484. So they're only making an extra $126 per Gargantuan Squigoth they sell in Australia now. Yeah, that's fair. It was 410 Australian, 376 US, 296 euro, and 228 pounds. Well, I think I've demonstrated pretty well that they're completely jacking us with the price. So let's have a quick look at some US dollar figures. So let's see, we've got flyers up here now. So in America, you paid, let's see, the Nightwing. Nightwing was 112 US dollars in 2013. And it's $136 now. So that's probably kind of close-ish to inflation, I'm going to guess. I don't have an inflation calculator that I can trust that I know personally for America, because your money's a bit different to ours. Okay, what about some of this orc stuff, since I'm on that page? So Xenos, orcs. Alright, Gargantuan Squigoth, 473, and it was... $383, so it's gone up by 30% in 10 years. Inflation's only like, I think, 18 or 20% over 10 years, so jolly good. Again, Australia and US is different, but yeah, 18.2% over 9 years for Australia. Jolly good. America would have to be somewhere in the ballpark. Obviously, this last year will be really throwing it out of whack, but Games Workshop hasn't finished giving us all their price rises yet, so there's that. Oh, the Super Cannon is on there. It was $35 US dollars and 50 cents in 2012, and it is currently oh, cool, the page decided to stop working. Refresh, thank you. Currently 45, so another one. So it seems to be around 30% just flat across all this orc stuff so far. Let's see, knobs at 110, knob bike riders, and they were US 89. So that's a $21 difference. Yeah, probably around 25 to 30%. So there seems to be rhyme and reason to the US web store. And actually, if I go back to earlier when I had the aircraft up, the flyers. So we know the Nightwing and the Nightwing and the Tantalus cost the exact same amount. So what are they like over here? 176 and 136. The same thing happens. They started out the same price in 2012, and in 2013, I wonder, Nightwing was 112 and the Tantalus was 146. Okay, so the discrepancy between the two units had already set in as early as 9 years ago. Eye-opener. Anyway, I think I've made my point. So, first of all, Games Workshop's marketing department, the account nomancers, shame on you. Not for me, I'm an adult and I have adult things and adult income and all that, and I can afford my hobby. But your stupid pricing is meaning that a lot of people who would love to enjoy this hobby and purchase these kits are either unable to, or they're paying an exorbitant amount for the exact same miniatures just because of your pettiness as a company. And I think that is shameful and unacceptable, because sure, you are a business and you can charge whatever you like for a product legally. Okay, fine. But morally, does it pass the test? Not to me. And you've got to understand that that morally thing is important, because it's a two-way street. You don't want people to go out and recast and do things like that, or ignore your stores and go into local hobby shops and buy discounted miniatures at those instead of at your brick and mortar stores. But what moral incentive do we have to do the right thing by you if you as a company cannot bring yourself to do the right thing by us, because this kind of, like, that was multiple items in Australia that were 30, 50, even 100% over cost, over inflation, you know? At what point do you say, like, enough is enough with the greed? Because literally, we pay the shipping. Until it gets to a certain expense, we pay the shipping on the items. So they should be the same bloody cost no matter where they go in the world. The fact that they're not when we're ordering online is, frankly, theft. It's theft from us because, namely because you won't allow us to skirt around without using some sort of postal thing. We cannot go and buy directly off the UK web store. We used to be able to. We used to be able to with Warhammer and with Forge World. As in Warhammer from Games Workshop itself, the plastic stuff. And you've stripped away the ability for us to do that. We cannot go from our country to another and purchase this stuff online. We have to physically go to another country. And there are some units, okay, to give people who are probably sick of the whinging and ranting in this video, but fuck them, to give some idea. If I was to go, right, and look at a Titan, let's see. The Imperial Knights, you'd imagine to be in its own thing. I'm going to bring up a Titan here, Warlord, because it's a great example. So, the Warlord pattern Titan. So when this bad boy, when you buy the entire Titan, I haven't done the maths on it for this year, but I do know that 3 years ago, just before the pandemic, I could fly from Australia to the UK, buy this model, as in the complete Titan kit, so not just the body, but weapons and all, fly back to Australia, and it would work out to be just under the price of buying the model directly from the UK. And this was after doing all the taxes and everything like that. So it was cheaper as an Australian to fly to the UK, buy the model, and then fly 22 hours back home, let alone the drive to Nottingham, because of these stingy pricks. So yeah, legally, can they do it? Sure. But morally, why would anyone not pirate from you? I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, what is the reasoning behind that? Like, anyone who defends this egregious practice, like, you need to look at yourself and think about your fellow hobbyists. Because, yes, well, Games Workshop may be looking after you because maybe you live in the UK or something. You go, oh, it doesn't affect me. It's not a problem. I'm happy with this. Well, good for you, but have some consideration for others. Because I, right now, and everyone like me who buys from Forge World or Games Workshop, which I pretty much just don't do now because it's not worth it. The last model I bought from them was Jagged Khan. So for those of us, though, that were doing it, we were subsidising your hobby. We were helping pay their wages, and we were putting significantly more money into it than you fuckers were. Every time you bought a Rhino and we bought a Rhino, they got 30% more money just because I bought the Rhino. So I was 30% more useful to them than you are. Now we're at the point where people like me, we've stopped going to them. And all the Australian hobby scene that I know, no one's buying legit anymore. And the reason they're not buying legit is because if I were to buy this model from China, I'm going to get it for a third of this price. Now, if Forge World's quality control was awesome, and if Forge World's model was a lot fairer to the customer, different story. Because I would go, you know what, they're trying to do the right thing by me. You know, they've kept prices in line with inflation or something like that. And I would justify it to myself, and I would go out and spend the money. But that is not what's happened. That's not the situation we find ourselves in. The situation we find ourselves in is they're so egregious, I go, why would I want to support them? You can't say it's because, oh, they churn out all these beautiful miniatures and look after you, because they don't. They sent, remember Warhammer Fantasy? They sent 4/5 of it to the garbage disposal in the last year or two. So how supported can one feel? What are we subsidising? What are we paying for? Well, we're paying for them to make exorbitant profit, to occasionally give a bonus to their staff around tax time that actually turns their wage from below living standard to on living standard. Jolly good. Meanwhile, a couple of fat cats at the top are making bank. And then they look at Australia and go, oh, we don't get it. We put no effort in and charge them too much. Why is it collapsing down there? Well, now you know. Anyway, I'm Mac with the Outer Circle. You can call this episode salty if you like. Go for gold. I don't care. This isn't salt. This is fact. I showed you the books. I showed you the Reserve Bank of Australia's inflation prices. The only reason that any of this is happening is greed. And it's disproportionately affecting my country, not, I'm going to say yours, but I don't know who the listener is from. I'm going to guess since like 60% of you Americans, it is affecting you. But British people, come on. Get in their ear. Someone, please. And if you work at the company, okay, somewhere like Forge World or whatever, have a think about it. Have a think about what this means and talk to your marketing people. Is this good PR? I don't think it is. Anyway, that's it. It's totally unscripted rant, but hey, that's the way I do things on this channel. Back with the Outer Circle. Thank you all for coming on, watching, and I guess I'll catch you all on the next one.